In a small town, there lived a girl named Mia. From the outside, she might have seemed ordinary, quiet and reserved, with long dark hair that often fell over her eyes. She preferred books to parties and spent most of her time daydreaming about adventures far beyond her neighborhood. But inside, Mia held a fierce determination that few could see. Her greatest dream was to become a Navy SEAL. Growing up, Mia was inspired by stories of brave soldiers who faced challenges head-on. She admired their courage and teamwork, often imagining herself as part of those elite ranks. The tales of daring rescues and incredible missions filled her with excitement. Each story fueled her desire to prove that even the quietest person could be strong and capable. Mia's journey began when she stumbled upon an old photo album belonging to her grandfather. He had served in the Navy and shared thrilling tales of his time, including how he learned discipline and resilience. As Mia flipped through the pages, she felt a connection to him that ignited her passion further. She wanted to honor his memory by following in his footsteps and serving her country. However, Mia knew that the path ahead would not be easy. She was often overlooked in school, where louder students dominated conversations and activities. Her shyness made it difficult for her to speak up or make friends. Yet, every time she thought about quitting or doubting herself, she remembered the values her grandfather had taught her: hard work, perseverance, and the importance of standing up for what you believe in. Determined to join the Navy SEALs, Mia started training on her own. Early mornings were spent running around the park, pushing herself to improve her strength and endurance. She practiced swimming in the local pool, dreaming of the day she would dive into the ocean during a mission. Each drop of sweat reminded her of her goal. Though she felt alone at times, Mia's dream kept her going. She knew that if she worked hard enough, she could prove everyone wrong, even those who dismissed her as just the quiet girl. With each passing day, Mia's resolve grew stronger, setting the stage for the challenges that lay ahead as she entered the world of recruits. As the day of recruitment arrived, Mia felt a mix of excitement and nerves bubbling inside her. She stood in line with other hopeful recruits, all wearing matching uniforms that symbolized their commitment to serve. The atmosphere was electric, filled with the sounds of laughter and banter, but underneath the camaraderie lay a fierce competition. Everyone was eager to prove themselves as they awaited the start of their training. The first challenge was a rigorous physical fitness test designed to push them to their limits. Mia watched as her fellow recruits sprinted across the track, doing push-ups and sit-ups with determination. They cheered each other on, creating an encouraging environment that made her feel slightly more at ease. Yet, as she prepared for her turn, doubts crept in. Would she be able to keep up? When it was finally Mia's turn to showcase her abilities, she took a deep breath and focused on the task ahead. The instructor watched closely as recruits raced against the clock. Mia ran as fast as she could, her heart pounding in her chest. Each step fueled her determination. She imagined herself crossing the finish line and earning her place among these elite recruits. After completing the fitness test, they were thrown into a series of obstacle courses that tested their agility and teamwork. Groups were formed, and recruits had to rely on one another to navigate over walls, crawl through mud pits, and climb ropes. The bond among them started to strengthen, even for Mia, who still felt like an outsider at times. During one particularly challenging course, Mia found herself paired with a brawny recruit named Jake. Initially dismissive of her capabilities, he soon realized she had skills he hadn't anticipated. Together, they worked seamlessly through the obstacles, encouraging each other along the way. The sense of accomplishment after overcoming challenges together brought Mia joy and strengthened their alliance. As days turned into weeks, the competition intensified. Recruits pushed themselves harder during each training session, while also forming friendships that would last beyond the program. Through sweat and determination, Mia began to shine bright amidst the chaos, slowly shedding her identity as just the quiet girl. With every challenge overcome and every bond formed, she grew closer to realizing her dream, becoming a Navy SEAL ready for whatever lay ahead. As the days passed in training, Mia's initial excitement began to wane. While she had built some friendships, there were a few strong recruits who seemed intent on making her life more difficult. They were part of a tight-knit group that often united through teasing and playful banter, but it quickly turned into something more hurtful. Jake, the recruit she had worked well with before, fell into this group. At first, he joined in their laughs, misjudging Mia's quiet nature as an easy target. "Hey, Silent Sally, can you even lift those weights?" he would call out during workouts. The others would snicker, and Mia would feel her cheeks flush with embarrassment. Instead of feeling like part of the team, she became increasingly isolated, her confidence slowly dwindling under their harsh words. Mia tried hard to shake off the comments, reminding herself of her abilities and the strength she had shown during training. Yet every sneer chipped away at her self-esteem. In moments when she was supposed to feel empowered by her progress, she found herself questioning if she truly belonged among these recruits at all. The worst came during a challenging drill that required teamwork. As they worked to complete it efficiently, Mia noticed how some recruits rolled their eyes or exchanged sarcastic remarks whenever she struggled with certain tasks. "Why don't you just quit? It's not like we need everyone here," one of them jeered after Mia tripped over a rope while attempting a complex maneuver. Her heart sank. Doubts began to creep back in. Was she really cut out for this? Every day felt like a battle between her dreams and the relentless whispers telling her she wasn't tough enough. Despite her efforts to shine through hard work and dedication, the negativity weighed heavily on Mia's spirit. She found herself spending more time in solitude during breaks, retreating to the corners of the training area where she could gather her thoughts without the bullying echoes chasing her. But deep down, Mia clung to a flicker of hope. The hope that maybe one day soon she would not just prove herself to others, but also show herself that she could rise above anyone who underestimated her. Each day was a step closer to that moment, a moment when she could finally reclaim her strength and fight back against those who saw only silence and not the fiery determination within. The breaking point came on a day that started like any other. Mia arrived at the training grounds, her heart heavy but determined to push through. The recruits had been tasked with a grueling obstacle course that day, one that would test their endurance and teamwork. For many, it was just another chance to show off their strength. For Mia, it felt like an opportunity to prove herself once more. As they lined up, Jake and his friends exchanged mischievous glances, clearly plotting something. Mia tried to ignore them, focusing instead on the course ahead. However, as soon as they began, she could feel their eyes on her. Each time she stumbled or faltered, laughter would ripple through the group like a wave. "Come on, Silent Sally! A snail could do better!" Jake shouted gleefully. The taunts grew louder with every obstacle she faced. When Mia reached a steep wall that required climbing, she felt her confidence begin to waver. She struggled to grip the edges and pull herself up. Just as she reached for the top, she lost her footing and fell back down into a muddy pit below. The laughter erupted around her, loud and unrelenting. Mia's cheeks burned with humiliation as she looked up at the mocking faces surrounding her. They didn't see her effort, they only saw her failures. Trapped in that moment of despair, she felt powerless against the cruel words and judgment that surrounded her like a storm cloud. Jake leaned over the edge of the wall with a smirk. "Maybe you should just quit now. You're making us all look bad." His words pierced deeper than any physical pain could have inflicted. Mia's heart sank further as every doubt she had ever felt rushed back in full force. Was she really strong enough? Did anyone even believe in her? In that moment of feeling utterly trapped, something inside Mia sparked. A flicker of anger at being pushed around for too long, mixed with an intense desire to prove herself not just to them, but also to herself. She wiped away the mud from her face and took a deep breath, feeling an unfamiliar sense of determination rising within her. This was no longer about simply completing an obstacle course or impressing others. This was about reclaiming her strength and fighting back against those who underestimated her. As she steadied herself against the pit's edge, Mia made a silent promise. Today would be different. Today, she would rise above their bullying and show them what she was truly capable of achieving. As Mia brushed the mud off her clothes and took a deep breath, she felt a shift in the air around her. Unbeknownst to her, a legendary Navy SEAL named Master Sergeant Riley had been observing the training exercises from a distance, his sharp eyes taking in every detail. He was known for his tough exterior and fierce dedication to pushing recruits to their limits, but he also possessed a keen sense of compassion that few ever saw. Master Sergeant Riley had a reputation that preceded him. Stories of his incredible feats during dangerous missions inspired many, but also made others nervous. He was the kind of leader who demanded respect, not just through fear, but by earning it through mentorship. And today, as he watched Mia struggle, he could see something special in her that others overlooked, a quiet strength fighting against the noise of doubt surrounding her. After witnessing the taunts and bullying directed at Mia, Riley felt a great sense of unease. He approached the obstacle course with purposeful strides, silencing the laughter that echoed around them with just his presence. "All right, everyone, gather around," he called out firmly. The recruits quickly fell silent, their eyes turning to him with curiosity and some apprehension. Riley's focus landed on Mia, who was standing at the edge of the pit with a mix of defiance and weariness in her gaze. "I don't want to see any more bullying on my watch," he declared. "We're all here to train together as a team." His voice rang with authority, but also held an underlying sincerity that began to shift the atmosphere. Turning to Mia next, he said, "Don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. Strength doesn't always shout, it sometimes whispers." Encouraged by his words, Mia felt a spark reignite within her. That moment marked a turning point. She realized she had someone in her corner who believed in her potential. From that day forward, Master Sergeant Riley became an unexpected ally for Mia. He took notice of her determination and provided guidance tailored to her strengths, while encouraging her to face challenges head-on without fear of judgment. He taught her techniques to better handle the physical demands of training and fortified her mental resilience against bullying. With Riley's support behind her, Mia felt empowered to embrace her identity as both a recruit and an individual. Together, they would work to break down barriers, not only for Mia, but also for others facing similar struggles as they trained side by side towards their shared goal of becoming Navy SEALs. With Master Sergeant Riley now in her corner, Mia felt a renewed sense of purpose. The following weeks became a transformative experience as Riley crafted a plan to help her gain the skills and confidence she needed to face her bullies head-on. He tailored each training session to meet her unique strengths, focusing on both physical abilities and mental resilience. Riley introduced Mia to various techniques, starting with combat training. "You don't need to be loud or aggressive to fight back," he explained as they practiced moves together. He taught her how to use her smaller stature to her advantage, emphasizing agility over brute strength. Through drills that included evasive maneuvers and quick strikes, Mia slowly began to discover newfound power within herself, each successful execution boosting her confidence. In addition to combat skills, Riley emphasized the importance of mental toughness. They spent time discussing strategies for handling bullying and finding inner strength. "Remember," he told her during one session, "the most effective weapon you possess is your mind. Stay focused, breathe, and don't let their words control you." They practiced visualization techniques, where Mia imagined standing tall against her bullies and asserting herself confidently. Mia also learned about teamwork during these training sessions. Riley brought in other recruits who had faced their own struggles and encouraged them to support one another. Together, they formed a tight-knit group that celebrated each other's progress. Feeling valued among her peers helped Mia shed more layers of self-doubt and isolation. As days turned into weeks, the quiet girl began transforming into a more assertive version of herself. She found herself participating more actively during group exercises and even contributing ideas that showcased her strategic thinking. The camaraderie she built with others became a safety net, boosting her morale whenever she felt anxious. Finally, Riley prepared Mia for the ultimate showdown, an upcoming competitive drill that would put all their hard work to the test. This was not just another obstacle course. It was an opportunity for Mia to demonstrate how far she had come, while also standing up against those who had once belittled her. On the day of the drill, as Mia stood at the starting line alongside other recruits, she felt a surge of excitement mixed with nerves. This was her moment for redemption. She glanced at Riley in the crowd, who nodded encouragingly. With every ounce of determination coursing through her veins, Mia was ready not only to compete, but also to reclaim the respect she deserved, showcasing both her skills and newfound confidence against anyone who dared challenge her again. The day of the competitive drill arrived, and Mia stood at the starting line, her heart racing with a mixture of exhilaration and nerves. The sun beat down on the training grounds as her fellow recruits gathered, their eyes filled with anticipation, especially Jake and his group of followers, who were confident that today would once again showcase her weaknesses. Mia took a deep breath, recalling all the hard work and support she had received from Master Sergeant Riley. She felt ready. As the whistle blew, The recruits surged forward, sprinting toward the first obstacle, a high wall that required both strength and strategy to scale. Instead of hesitating or feeling intimidated, Mia focused on the techniques Riley had taught her. As she approached the wall, she recalled how to use her agility to her advantage. With one swift motion, she climbed over it while her competitors faltered, showcasing her newfound confidence. As they moved through the course, Mia caught sight of Jake ahead. He turned back and smirked when he saw her gaining ground. "What's wrong, Silent Sally? You think you can actually keep up?" he taunted, but Mia didn't flinch. A fire ignited within her. She was ready to show him that she was no longer an easy target. During a challenging mud crawl, Mia strategically maneuvered through the muck, using evasive moves to glide past her opponents. When she emerged from the other side, Jake was shocked to see her clearly in front of him, his smirk replaced by disbelief. She felt a surge of pride. She wasn't just participating, she was competing fiercely. As they approached the final obstacle, a complex set of ropes and nets, Mia felt more determined than ever. She began climbing with a confidence that surprised both herself and those around her. The crowd started to cheer as they witnessed a transformation. The quiet girl they once underestimated was now on her way to victory. Jake, desperate to regain his earlier status, attempted to push past Mia as he climbed beside her. "You'll never beat me," he growled between heavy breaths. But instead of backing down, Mia shot him a fierce look and doubled her efforts. With one final burst of energy, she reached the top first, planting a foot triumphantly on the highest point. The cheers from the crowd erupted as Mia stood tall, overlooking the course like a champion. For a moment, time seemed to stand still as she realized how far she had come. Not just in this competition, but in finding her voice amidst adversity. She had not only surprised everyone with her bravery, but had also shown herself that she was a force to be reckoned with. Confident, resilient, and fiercely determined to pursue her dream of becoming a Navy SEAL. As the cheers of the crowd echoed around the training ground, Mia stood triumphantly at the top of the obstacle course, her heart swelling with pride. Below her, the expressions on Jake and his group shifted from disbelief to embarrassment as they processed what had just happened. The quiet girl they had underestimated had not only outperformed them, but had done so with remarkable skill and determination. Jake's bravado faltered. He glanced at his friends, who looked equally shocked, and for the first time, he seemed unsure of himself. "I can't believe she actually beat us," he muttered, struggling to regain his composure. The laughter that once filled their group was replaced by an awkward silence, a stark contrast to the cheers Mia received. As the recruits gathered around Mia, she noticed some of them looking at her with newfound respect. Even those who had once participated in the bullying were taken aback by her transformation. It was a pivotal moment. Not only had Mia proven herself in a physical contest, but she had also challenged their perceptions about strength and capability. Feeling a mix of emotions, Jake took a step forward, swallowing his pride. "Hey, I guess I underestimated you," he said reluctantly, trying to mask his defeat with half-hearted bravado. But there was an authenticity in his tone that hinted at genuine acknowledgement. Mia met his gaze firmly, but without animosity. "It's okay," she replied softly. "I used to think being quiet meant being weak, but I've learned that strength comes in many forms." Her words resonated through the gathering crowd. This encounter shifted something within Jake and his friends. They began to realize that bullying someone simply because they appeared vulnerable was not only wrong, but also ignorant. In this unexpected moment of vulnerability from Jake, they started understanding that everyone has their own battles to fight and strengths to uncover. As Mia stepped down from her victory position, several recruits approached her to congratulate her genuinely. They wanted to hear about her journey and how she had trained so hard to succeed against all odds. The camaraderie among recruits grew stronger as mutual respect blossomed through shared experiences. Through this confrontation, Mia didn't just claim victory over her bullies. She sparked a change in how they viewed strength and resilience. Respect emerged from understanding rather than mockery, a lesson that would linger long after the competition ended, reshaping relationships among all recruits as they continued their journey toward becoming Navy SEALs together. In the days following the competitive drill, the atmosphere among the recruits had shifted dramatically. The cheers for Mia's victory echoed in their minds, but more importantly, it ignited a change in how they interacted with one another. Former bullies began to see Mia through a new lens, one that revealed her hard-earned strength and resilience rather than just her quiet demeanor. Jake, still processing the unexpected turn of events, approached Mia after morning training. "Hey, can we talk?" he asked hesitantly. Surprised but curious, Mia nodded. To her astonishment, Jake expressed genuine remorse for his past behavior. "I was wrong to underestimate you," he admitted. "You showed all of us what real strength looks like." His sincerity opened a door for meaningful conversation between them. As they talked, Jake shared his own struggles with self-doubt and pressure to perform. Mia realized that his bullying had stemmed from his insecurities rather than pure malice. This moment of vulnerability laid the foundation for an unexpected friendship, one built on shared experiences and mutual respect. They began training together, encouraging each other as they faced challenges head-on. Meanwhile, other recruits who had once followed Jake's lead also approached Mia. They wanted to learn from her journey and celebrate her achievements instead of belittling them. A sense of camaraderie grew among the group as they supported one another during workouts and team drills. Mia found herself surrounded by friends who genuinely valued her contributions, fueling her confidence even further. No longer just the quiet girl, Mia became an integral part of the team dynamic. She participated in brainstorming sessions for strategy drills, offering insightful ideas that surprised many of her peers. Her perspective added depth to their training discussions and solidified her role within the group. Master Sergeant Riley observed this transformation with pride, noting how the bonds formed through respect and understanding improved overall morale among recruits. He encouraged them to celebrate their differences instead of allowing insecurities to create divides. As friendships deepened, Mia's presence inspired others to confront their own challenges openly, whether those challenges were physical or emotional. The environment became more inclusive. Recruits cheered each other on during rigorous exercises and lent support when someone struggled. In this supportive atmosphere, everyone learned that true strength isn't just about individual competition, but about lifting one another up. Mia's journey not only reshaped her own identity, but also transformed relationships within the entire group. Together, they were becoming not just better recruits, but a unified team ready to face any challenge ahead. Proof that growth often emerges from understanding and friendship forged through shared experiences. As Mia's journey progressed, it became clear that her transformation was not just about her personal growth, but also the impact she had on those around her. The quiet girl who once felt like an outsider emerged as a symbol of courage and resilience within the training ranks. Each challenge she faced, from overcoming bullying to conquering the obstacle course, taught her that strength is multifaceted and comes in many forms. With every passing day, Mia inspired her fellow recruits to reflect on their actions and attitudes. Those who had once mocked her began to understand the weight of their words and how bullying not only hurts others, but also diminishes their own character. Jake's initial embarrassment evolved into a commitment to support Mia and champion kindness, demonstrating how one moment of vulnerability can reshape relationships. As new friendships formed through shared experiences, the recruits grew more cohesive as a unit. They learned to celebrate each other's achievements rather than compete against one another. The once divided group transformed into a supportive community that lifted one another up in moments of struggle and shared victories together. Master Sergeant Riley watched this evolution with satisfaction, recognizing that Mia's bravery not only forged alliances, but also cultivated a culture of respect among the recruits. He often reminded them, "A true leader knows when to stand strong and when to lift others." These themes resonated deeply as they all committed to fostering an environment where everyone could thrive, regardless of their background or initial perceptions. Mia's story became more than a tale of personal triumph. It was a testament to what can happen when individuals rise above adversity together. She taught those around her that it's essential to stand up against bullying, not just for oneself, but for others who silently bear the burden of mockery and doubt. In reflection, Mia found that some of her greatest achievements were not measured by medals or accolades, but by the friendships she forged and the lives she touched along the way. The quiet girl who once feared being overlooked now stood proudly as a role model for courage and resilience, proving that with determination and support, anyone can overcome even the toughest challenges. As they continued their path toward becoming Navy SEALs, Mia and her fellow recruits carried forward the lessons learned from their shared journey, embracing strength in unity while promoting kindness and understanding above all else. In this way, Mia's legacy would echo far beyond training drills. It would inspire countless others striving to find their own voices amidst adversity.